Hi everyone, I am Nayoka Kelly Campbell of Kelly Fiscal LLC. Just want to thank you guys for joining us today. Today is our first YouTube segment of financial tips and tools. And today we'll be speaking on debt. Good debt versus bad debt. Now I know you're wondering, can debt ever be good? Yes, it can. Stay tuned. Now, as I mentioned, we have good debt and we have bad debt. But let's first discuss debt. What is debt? Debt is basically money that you owe an individual or an institution. For example, if you use your credit card to purchase an item and you're not able to repay that payment within the given specified time, that's a debt. You owe that money to the institution. So, and we consider that a bad debt. Now, we're going to take turns in looking at bad debt versus good debt. But first, let's get into bad debt. So we have already defined what is debt. Now, let's take into consideration the different types of bad debt that we have. The first bad debt we have that we can all associate with is credit cards. Now, we know having too many cards can affect your credit score based on your utilization. Unless you decide to use those cards as leverage to purchase something that will bring you long-term value, such as those balance transfers checks as a down payment on a rental property, or to invest in the stock market, it is considered bad debt. Another bad debt that we can all associate with is the purchase of a vehicle. Did you know that as you drive your car off the dealership's lot, that your car decreases in value instantly? And also, if you default on that loan for the vehicle, it is considered a bad debt. Now, another debt that we all are associated with are student loans. Student loan can be considered both good and bad. The bad debt side of this is you get a high interest rate on a loan and the education you receive with this debt is not being used in real life. Now, what was the sense in taking out that student loan? So we just discussed bad debt. And as you can see, bad debt has no lasting value. It does not increase your wealth. Now, let's look at a more positive side of debt. Let's get into good debt. So as you can see, good debt increases your net worth. It helps you to generate wealth, long-term wealth, and it also allows you to manage your finances more effectively. Now, one specific good debt that we can all associate with is taking out a mortgage, but not necessarily a mortgage for your own home. We're speaking of taking out a mortgage on a rental property for long-term value. Now, did you know that getting a home equity loan or a line of credit is considered a good debt? Get a loan at a relatively low interest rate using your home or your rental property as collateral. Now, as a small business, you have the opportunity to take out a small business loan. Borrowing money to start your own business could be the best investment you'll ever make. But you have to have enough ambition, savvy, and you need to put in the work to make your business succeed. Because guess what? You will need to repay that loan. But it is considered a good debt if you use it wisely for your business. Now, another option that we can look at is borrowing to consolidate debt with a low interest rate. Now, we know that we're borrowing money and it's considered a debt, but we're using that loan that we took out on a low interest rate to pay off the balances on high interest rate loans. Do you get that? You're using your low interest rate loan to pay off high interest rate loans. Let that stick just for a minute. Now, do you recall when I mentioned that student loan can either be good or bad debt? Let's take a look at the good part of it. Student loan, it's worth it if, and that is a big if, you are buying an education that will lead to a well-paying career. For example, in 2016, did you know the weekly median income for individuals with only a high school diploma was only around $679 compared to a weekly median income for individuals with a bachelor's degree of around $1,435. Now that's basically doubling your income if only you had a bachelor's degree. And this is why we consider taking out a student loan as a good debt to basically further your education. So now is the time to make a change for yourself. To get something that you've never had, you have to do something that you have never done. So we have discussed debt, and as you can see, debt can be good. Now it's up to you to take this information and utilize it the best way you know how. Let's not get into the norm of creating bad debt situations for ourselves. Use this opportunity and use this information to create long-term wealth so that you and your family can benefit from this in the long run. And please join us on our next segment of financial tips and tools, where we will be looking at balance transfer. Do you know those balance transfer checks that you get in the mail, or that balance transfer offer that's available to you online? We will be discussing next on our segment of financial tips and tools. Guys, I just want to thank you for joining us on this segment of our YouTube financial tips and tools. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so that you may be notified whenever we upload a new segment on our financial tips and tools. Thank you guys for watching.